Hey everyone, how y'all doing today? So it's that time to actually do some update, or should I say upgrade, to my computer. It's been 5 years now. Yes, it's going on 5 years since I own my own little computer here. Yes, it's a Hackintosh. And if you haven't heard of a Hackintosh, that's a regular computer that was built for Windows 10 or Linux or whatever else, turned into where it can run Apple's operating system, which is the Macintosh, or should I say Mac OS, now that they changed the name. So yeah, I can remember when I made my first Hackintosh years ago, and now it's time to do that major upgrade. And I'm not talking just software update. I'm talking about hardware update. Actually, my processor is actually Devil's Canyon. That's how old my processor is. So I don't have Skylake, Coffee Lake, or any other process like that. I have a real old processor. The system is still running good, so I'm not complaining. So the 5-year mark is when I usually do that turnover. It's time to swap out new hardware because, it's getting to the point where I cannot do certain things anymore because the system can't keep up with my demand. And I understand that. I know I'm on a 5-year rotation, so it's been that time. I've got my money worth out of this current system. So the parts I have in there now, I'll try to sell them on eBay and get whatever I can out of them. But it's that time. So now that I'm at the crossroad, it's time to decide which direction to go. Now, Apple just released this new Mac Mini. And from day one, I've been tempted to go that route. But at the same time, I've been looking at the Mac Pro and thinking about going that avenue too. But something about these two systems that I'm not fully actually convinced that I really want to go those routes. So I think my final decision going to be that I'm just going to buy the parts and upgrade my Hackintosh, swap out the motherboard, CPU, memory, and the video card. And that should get me over the hump as far as upgrading. I can keep the case, I can keep the power supply, and everything else that's in this case right now. But let me go over the reason why I decided to just go with another Hackintosh instead of picking up the Mac Mini or this new Mac Pro. First off, the Mac Mini. Yes, it has a 6-core, 8th generation processor. Mine, like I said, doesn't come close to that. So this has already beat me out. It's got DDR4 memory. It's capable of going up to 64 gigabytes. My current system maxed out at 32 gigabytes, and it's DDR3. So yes, the Mac Mini can blow my system away right out the gate. But the issues I have with this Mac Mini is when I go to the buy section, right, and I'm trying to customize it for my liking. Of course, I'm going to want the 6-core. I already have a 4-core processor right now. So for me to do an upgrade that's going to last me another 5 years down the road, I need to go to the max at least. So if I choose the 6-core processor, I'm going to come over here to the customize page, and it's going to ask me, what do you want to get? Of course, I do want that 6-core processor, the 8th generation, but I also want the i7. Like I said, I need to go to the top of the line, especially on the processor, if nothing else. So that can last me another 5 years down the road. I don't have to worry about upgrading every year or every 2 years or something like that. Every time I build a new system, I try to make it last me at least 5 years. And that's why I do the initial investment in it now to take me that far. If I want to go up to the next level, which is the i7 CPU, then that's going to bump me up another $200 just making that change. So now we up to $12.99. But I need that processor to do the work that I do because my system is a workstation. I do a lot of heavy lifting on it, videos, websites, graphics, photo editing, a lot of stuff like that. So I need that processing power. Now the memory that I currently have in my system is 32 gigabytes. If you look at this, if I try to bump up to 32 gigabytes, it's going to cost me $600. That's how much Apple is going to tag on to my price tag to get that much more memory. Now, I'm a do-it-yourself kind of guy, and the memories that comes in the Mac Mini is swappable. The only problem is, because I see a video online, is you literally have to take that thing apart all the way down, strip it down to the bone just to get to the memory to swap them out. Now, do I want to go to all of that kind of work? I don't know. I could do it. I got that kind of skills, but I tell you what, I'm just going to start off say I want to go with basic price right now and say I'm going to do another 200 and add the 16 and say, let's see how that performs. So now we move down to the storage. My current system has a 256 SSD drive in it right now. So do I really want to start off with the same amount? Because I'm already running out of space on my current system. But at the same time, I do all my storage off my computer. All my external drive is where I store all my data files, like my videos and my music and stuff like that. But I would really like to have an internal drive with more than 256. Now, if I say, I want to go with the 512, that's another $200 right there. If I go with the 1 terabyte, we talking another 600. Now, these are some big major jump in price right here. So to double my capability right now, I'd have to add another $200 to the price tag. So now I'm up to $16.99. Ethernet, I can deal with what's in there right now. I don't need the 10 gigabits. I already got Final Cut. I don't need Logic Pro. So right now, walking out the door, this is how much I would have to spend. Now the memory, from what I researched online, you can actually get 32 gigabytes for about 200 and change. So if I go back to the 8 gigabytes, that will take off $200 off the price. But when I go out and buy my own memory for the $200 and change, that's going to bump me up to that price tag before, because you know I got to add that price in later on to the 16. But the good thing is I will have 4 times as much memory compared to the 8 gigabytes. Because the $200 that Apple is going to charge me is going to make me twice as much. But if I buy my own and do some elbow greasing, then I'll have 4 times as much for about the same price as the 16. So fully customized to the way I would want it right now, going out the gate, I'd be spending $1,499. Now, if we move over to the Mac Pro, that's a different beast by itself yet. Now, this is an older system. I've heard it hasn't been updated in years. I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. But it still has a lot of capability built in. And I hear Apple is actually working on a new Mac Pro that's supposed to be modular, and you can swap out some things, and it's going to be, of course, newer than this one that they're selling right now. So going with the Mac Pro, I have 2 choices to start off with. I got a 6-core and an 8-core. Now the 8-core is pushing $4,000, but that's close to the range of this guy over here, the iMac Pro, which is at $5,000. So 4 or 5,000, you know, we're talking a little bit rich for my blood right here. But I'm cool with the 6-core processor. The only problem, like I said, this 6-core processor start off at $3,000. Now the Mac Pro, you know, it can go up to like $10,000 if you really want to max this thing out. So if I stick with the 6-core processor, I will pay that much. If I decide to do an upgrade to the 8, then I'll add $800 to that. And then if I decide to go with a 12-core, I'm going to add $2,000 to that price. Start off with a memory. We got 16 gigabytes. But if I go to 32 gigabytes, I'm going to be adding another $400 to that price. Then if I decided to upgrade the graphic card from the D500 to the D700, which gives me 3 more gigabytes worth of memory, that's another $200 right there. Now on the storage, if I decided to go at least 512 gigabytes of SSD, then that's another $200 I'm spending right there. Then I have to get my own mouse and trackpad, but I can use the same mouse and keyboard that I have right now, so I can eliminate that part. And everything else I have, so I'm good to go. But let's see what the total price would be if I spec it out to the way I would like it to start off with. So I would need at least 32 gigabytes of memory. Yes, I would like to have better graphics because that would help me process videos and stuff like that better. And I would definitely want to have 512 gigabytes of SSD, more room. And you're looking at $3,799. So $3,799 right out the gate just on that. So the Mac Mini is looking good right now as far as price. You know, we're talking about $3,799 and we're talking about $1,499. Big difference in price. Yes, I would still have to add that $200 to that price. So let's say we add the $200 just for the sake of numbers here. So we're looking at least $1,700. Now, if I say scratch all of this and just go with my own, build my own Hackintosh, or should I say upgrade the one I have by getting the necessary newer parts, then this is the price I'm looking at right here. $1,385 and 88 cents. So now let's go down the list of items and the cost to make this project feasible. First off, I'm going to need a new CPU, and this is a 6-core turbo boost up to 4.7, so good processor. It'll last me a very long time. Plus, I'm going to have a newer motherboard, so if I want to update the processor later, I can do that. The video card that comes with this project is going to cost $239, but it's an 8 gigabytes. And I also get a 1 terabyte SSD card for $127. The memory right out the gate for that 200 and change, I get 32 gigabytes instead of the 16. And then I'm gonna need a new motherboard because this CPU will not fit in my current motherboard. So this is the avenue I'm going. I'm gonna pony up that cash and then just get this project built and just build my new Hackintosh and forget the Mac Pro and the Mac Mini, because this one is going to be more capable for me and it will be my new workstation. All right. Okay. So thanks for taking the time for watching this video. I will let you know when I'm building the project and I'll do videos on it so you can see the progress. Okay. Have a good one and I'll see you next time.